that the country has registered progress in the economy, now growing at 7%. He said government focuses on ensuring that 30% of households outside the money economy are supported through the Parish Development Model PDM Fund. Museveni was speaking at the 40th Liberation Day anniversary at Kololo. President Museveni cautioned against embezzlement and pledged more funds to the program for religious sects, cultural leaders, political leaders, and university graduates. The NRM held its 40th Liberation anniversary that marks the day in 1986 when National Resistance Army led by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni overthrew the government of Tito Okello and captured Kampala. Museveni, now the president-elect of the 2026 general elections, was the chief guest at the event held at Kololo Independence Grounds in Kampala. In these 40 years of governance, the economy has been growing and now at 7%, and projects further growth with oil growing, and now Ugandans, he said, will really be a middle-class country. And also he said they will focus more on commercial agriculture, services, and ICT sector. More emphasis shall be channeled to enroll more people in the money economy. Museveni cautioned against embezzlement of the Parish Development Model funds, stating that there will be an amendment in the PDM operation status, further pledging a fund for religious sects, university graduates, political actors, and cultural leaders. He showed optimism that the newly appointed Chief Justice will address issues of corruption. 33 people were awarded medals for their contribution towards the liberation struggle. The Electoral Commission assured Ugandans that it is fully prepared for today's local council elections for chairpersons and councillors in municipalities and city divisions across the country. The Commission spokesperson Julius Muchunguzi said all materials required for the exercise are already at district headquarters and will be dispatched early morning today to the polling stations. The Electoral Commission called on all Ugandans to turn up and vote, assuring the public that it is well prepared for the exercise. Muchunguzi said all election materials are ready at the district headquarters and will be delivered on time. Muchunguzi also said the elections in districts where parliamentary elections were previously affected, such as Uganda and Ajuri, will also be held today. He warned against electoral violence and spread of fake news, saying all culprits will face the wrath of the law. The government of Uganda has delivered a message of condolence and reconciliation to the family of the late Areo Angela at Ojingia Cell in Soroti City. Areo Angela, who died on the 31st of this month, was aged 101 years, was the mother of the late former Uganda People's Army Commander Francis Eregu. President Kaguta Museveni described her as a respected mother whose life symbolized endurance, unity, and peace. The president's condolence message was delivered by the Minister of State for Northern Uganda, Dr. Kenneth Omona. It was accompanied by a cash contribution of 10 million shillings. Born in 1924, Angela lived through the colonial era, independence, years of conflict, and a period of national healing. In his message, President Museveni called for reconciliation, unity, and peace, plus coexistence. Addressing mourners and local leaders, Dr. Omona urged Ugandans, especially the youth, to reject violence and rebellion and embrace peace. The cash contribution was delivered to the family. The leaders said the legacy of elders like Angela underscored the peace and national unity. Now, finally, on the local scene, following the declaration of the presidential election results in which the NRM candidate Kaguta Museveni was declared winner, the President National Peasants Party Robert Kasibante, who came sixth in the race, filed a petition challenging the president's victory. In his petition, Kasivante alleges irregularities in the electoral process, including the involvement of security operatives in the elections, use of government resources, bribery, and voter rigging. Through his legal team, President Museveni has filed a formal reply and answer to the petition. President Museveni states that the presidential elections were conducted in accordance with the Presidential Election Act and the Electoral Commission Act. He argues that any non-compliance, if any occurred, did not in any way affect the final results of the election. The president dismissed allegations that irregularities or electoral offenses were committed by him or by his agents with his knowledge, consent, or approval. He also denies influencing, controlling, or directing the Electoral Commission to declare him winner. President Museveni further denies allegations that he influenced or directed the Speaker of Parliament, NRM officials, all other government officials to bribe voters as alleged by the petitioner. The man who came sixth, he's complaining.
You know, I'm a believer.
But it is his right.
Yes.
And the Constitution says if you feel dissatisfied, even if you are the last among the 8, you have the right to go to court.
I'm a strong believer in reason. I really would want to sit down and understand the why, because the why is always the pushing factor for everything that we do. And it's one case I'm definitely interested in following. It's one of those that I'm really interested in following.
I want to see what will happen in court. Because for sure.
But of course, from what he
understanding
said,
the why,
he
definitely.
cited irregularities. That is the basis of his petition.
Are you aware that our laws of Uganda, we can't swear in a presidential candidate
with petitions
when we still have any or case in court? Supposing this thing lags up anyway.
Indeed, we are here to watch it as it unravels. John, what do we have on the foreign scene?
Of course, from the global coverage, we're starting off with the Holy Land, and the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced yesterday that the body of Ran Gavili, the last Israeli hostage in the Gaza Strip, had been recovered and declared that the next stage was about disarming Hamas. A short while ago, we brought home Rani Gavili, an Israeli hero. There are no more hostages in Gaza, Netanyahu said in Jerusalem. What is the next stage? The next stage is disarming Hamas and demilitarizing the Gaza Strip. The next stage is non-reconstruction, he added. Now, earlier, the Israeli army announced that Gavili's remains had been identified in coordination with Israeli forensic and police authorities. The remains were discovered in a cemetery near the Yellow Line outside Gaza City after examinations of around 250 bodies, according to the Israeli army. Hamas said in a statement that it had been provided with mediators and guarantor states with all the necessary information to locate Gavili's remains, calling for the full implementation of the agreement, particularly the reopening of the Rafah crossing in both directions. Moving on to the USA, the Trump administration has quickly abandoned its familiar deny and attack playbook after initially using it when federal agents shot dead Alex Pretty in Minneapolis on Saturday morning. Within 24 hours, as various videos of the shooting circulated online, it became clear that the White House was out of step with public opinion and what Americans could see with their own eyes. Since then, the administration and the president himself have changed tack, blaming Democrats for what happened and focusing less on the actions of the American nurse who was killed. Democrats, meanwhile, have increased their criticism of the president's mass deportation policy and the aggressive tactics of immigration and customs enforcement, leaning into a political fight that could result in a new government shutdown on Friday. Yesterday morning, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche described the situation as a powder keg. While he blamed the Democrats, many on both sides of America's political divide will agree that the current situation is fraught with peril. And of course, as we come to a close with the international coverage, protests erupted in Paris on Sunday over the case of 35-year-old Mauritanian migrant El Hassan Diarra, who died on the night of January 14th while in police custody. Footage shows demonstrators chanting against police violence while waving flags and marching through the streets. El Hassan suffered very serious violence. As the autopsy states, El Hassan died of strangulation. His bones were broken. Protester Assa Traore explained. El Hassan said, "You are strangling me. You are strangling me." But they continued to compress him, and El Hassan died. Today you are here because we are the living voice of El Hassan. We are the living voice of all the victims of the French police. Assa Traore's brother, Adama Traore, who was of Malian heritage, died in police custody after he was detained on July 18, 2016. We are addressing the French public, a republic that is supposed to defend civilians. But today, it is those in uniform who are killing. You killed Adama Traore, Al-Hussein Kamara, Lamine Dieng, and today, El Hassan Diarra. We say stop to racism and police violence, said Mohammed Migrant Workers Hostel spokesperson. And of course, that wraps up our international coverage here on GMU this very Tuesday.
Indeed, thank you very much, John. On that note, let's swing fast to what we have in the dailies. And of course, as always, we start off with the Daily Monitor. The headline there, priorities for new term out. That's the headline in the new vision. President Museveni unveils 2026 to 2031 plan at Liberation Day celebrations, and of course a picture at the celebration grounds yesterday. Court Museveni files defense in election petition. And development, Masaka gets 22 billion shillings modern water facility. Elections battle for city division municipality mayoral seats, and also speakers among Tayebwa visit first family in Kisozi. Now, let's see what we have in the rest of East Africa. That is starting with Tanzania in the Citizen. What Muha's notable global ranking means. That's a headline there. The Muhimbili University of Health and Allied Sciences has emerged as Tanzania's highest ranked university in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings 2026, placing third in East Africa. Interesting. Wonder where Makerere University falls here. Now, digital economy gathers pace as internet penetration tops 85%. And the bridge that has been overlooked since 1961, also a story to look into with the Citizen. Nihemba warns against leakage of public funds, and Ukrainian doctor finds healing, home and purpose in Zanzibar. Looking at the Daily Nation, storm over Gachagua gang attacks. That's the headline in the Daily Nation, and that's with Kenya. Also, another story to look into, how learners who cannot read are progressing to junior school, and taxpayers face heavier burden as county chiefs set to earn state pension. All of those stories and more in your dailies this morning. For now, let's have a short break as we enjoy Uganda coffee, encouraging you to also get yourself Uganda coffee. Do enjoy some music. We'll be right back. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Limo plays.
From presidential elections to parliamentary to district, now to sub-county elections, UBC Uganda close to the polls 2026, and we are here to bring you all the stories. Good morning, Uganda. You are watching. My name is Robert. and go and Burundi and together, we think before allowing us to start this Tuesday morning, the first day of the 1 week, this particular week. Now, U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that he is raising tariffs on South Korea after refusing fuel of
So for this life I know they go low, cause me I know the soul knows my job and I'm my party. Get to man and you my provider, you my provider,
while
you my provider. Every circumstance.
South Korea the decision to raise
Jehovah Jireh, you give me peace, you give me purpose, my provider. And when my enemies surround me, got me tied up. When they throw me in the pit inside the fire, you are my God and my King and my Father. Light to my path in the darkness, hope in my heart when they heartless falling. You reach out and caught us. You're the lover of my soul, love is flawless. They don't understand my God is. You bend me high, I know they go low. Cause me, I know they soul lost. My joy and I'm my body. Get to my knees, go.
You know the stretch up from the traffic light from the tower to commercial white shell to the Nassau Road. Most of the times about what time is it? There is always sewage there. No way. It is just all over the place. And I'm wondering, why do these people have to let sewage go through all over the road? Yet there are so many mechanisms on how to really handle this sewage. It's not really a good side there, the fact that that area always encompasses people who are offloading food items to Nakasero. I'm like,
Live from UBC Studios in
of Kampala. But
This
regardless,
is Good
thank you
Morning
for starting
Uganda.
your morning with us, and it is election time. But
Pick of the
I would
day
like to
on
welcome
UBC.
you back from Liberation Day. For those of you who attended the event at the Kololo Independence Grounds, thank you
Was
for
brought to you
attending.
by-
And to those extraordinary citizens, patriotic citizens, we would like to say congratulations. Now, something that caught my eye yesterday is that President Museveni vowed that Uganda's economy would accelerate into double-digit growth this year, linking the surge to the country's oil production and efforts to fully integrate Ugandans into the money economy. He also, by the way, called out the Chief Justice and asked him to compel people to speak out who the corrupt
Exercise
people are
can't be
in
sustained.
the country, so as to do away with
Eating
this
can't be
vice.
stopped.
But away from Liberation Day, of
It's
course,
even harder
in
to lose
Chisoro,
weight.
when it comes to the
Come
ongoing
and give it a
petitions
try.
and vote recounting in
Genshikang
Chisoro,
L-carnitine
court
chromium
dismissed
capsules.
vote recount for Bufumbira North
Plant
and
extract,
South.
scientific. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.uganda.gov.au.